Hey, sixth graders. Today is week 5, Friday, May 8th, and we're continuing World War I, and we're going to be wrapping this up. World War I, the war to end all wars, is over. Now what? Today you will write a treaty to end World War I, and a treaty is an agreement between nations. Now, yesterday you were to submit your propaganda poster, so I will be getting back to you about these. I look forward to reviewing them. If you still need to present your raft, there are openings today, so email me if you need to present, and join my Google Meets to present. So it's now going to be the end of World War I. Now, the U.S. joined World War I on April 6, 1917, and fighting stopped July 11, 1918. So it took close to a year for the United States to build up its military and be ready to fight. However, once the US was ready to fight, the Allies started winning decisively. So it's the end of World War I. Now what? Well, a treaty. Here you can see a painting of some world leaders, including President Wilson, discussing how do we move forward. So Allied leaders created terms of surrender in a treaty called the Treaty of Versailles. Leaders of Great Britain, France, Italy, and US President Woodrow Wilson debated fiercely about how to end the war. France wanted Germany to pay heavily, and France was Germany's neighbor and did not want to feel threatened by a future German attack. And there's differing perspectives. President Wilson wanted less punishment on Germany. Wilson wanted a treaty that minimized resentment and feelings of retaliation. Wilson wanted a treaty to prevent future wars. However, the Allies agreed on what many to believe were overly harsh terms for Germany. And Germany refused to sign the treaty at first, but the Allies threatened to invade Germany if they did not. Well, Germany relented and signed the treaty. So the Treaty of Versailles. In the Treaty of Versailles, Germany was to accept all responsibility for deaths and losses of all Allied countries. Remember, Germany was one of the central powers. Germany was forced to pay large payments to those countries. Germany gave up some European territory and all of its colonies in other parts of the world. Germany also had to keep a very small military, one that posed no threat to other European countries. Nice typo. Moving forward also was this thing called the League of Nations, which was the idea of President Wilson. And he wanted to prevent large-scale wars from happening again, like World War I. And he wanted countries in this idea of the League of Nations. He wanted countries to scale back their militaries and join a council to help work out problems to prevent large wars. And President Wilson ended up earning the Nobel Peace Prize for helping establish the League of Nations. Ironically, though, the United States never joined the League of Nations because Congress opposed it. So here's an image of Wilson being a chicken. He laid a huge egg, meaning he presented the League of Nations. Other countries joined it, but our United States Congress would not ratify it. So he was losing support from Congress. And toward the end of Wilson's term as president, he was losing support. This was partly due to isolationist views in Congress. And also, Wilson, who was a Democrat, refused to include Republican leaders in the peacemaking progress. So that made a lot of animosity. And President Wilson turned off many politicians because he insisted doing things his own way. But Wilson does have a legacy. Wilson is still considered a groundbreaking leader in changing how the world works out its problems. And though the U.S. didn't join the League of Nations, later on, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt supported a similar idea. And at the end of World War II, nearly 25 years after the League of Nations started, Roosevelt helped lead the United States into the United Nations, or UN, which still exists today. And the UN operates today and includes nearly all nations in the world. Now, how would you write a treaty at the end of World War I? I want you to write a treaty or agreement to help make amends and prevent future global conflicts. Come up with 4 specific ideas and sentences. Avoid saying overly general ideas like be good, get along, be nice. If you're not sure, do a little research on the Treaty of Versailles, find out what Germany had to agree to. You could change some of the terms, use complete sentences, and have a happy Mother's Day weekend. I look forward to reading your responses, and take care, everybody. Bye-bye.